All right, welcome back. It is Saturday, and we have the Pocket Change Market Report for April 15, 2023. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today as we embark on, just checking out the market for some of your favorite errors and varieties that people have found, not only in circulation, going through coin, whether it's roll hunting or going through large amounts of coin that aren't packaged at all. In addition to untapping the resource that is your local coin shop or coin show. Oftentimes, dealers won't have a lot of these coins attributed as an error or variety. Sometimes it just takes too much time for them to do. But in any event, it's a great way of really adding to your collection and possibly doing it to resell online. There's a lot of people that I know do this for a living and make a pretty good living to the point where they give up their regular day jobs and just really make an impact on the market. So we're going to take a look at those again. Some of the normal things that we talk about. Coins aren't going to be graded in this particular video. The big idea is you find them, you take good pictures of them, and then you list them. So that's important. Grading normally adds a pretty stiff kind of cost to anything, especially if it's something that you're going to resell. It wouldn't make any sense to do it anyways because these sell for themselves. And another thing to keep in mind that all of the images provided today are original to the seller's listings. We didn't juice or doctor any of them for any reason, so you're going to get the best and the worst images. You're going to see how low that bar is set, and you're going to see how high it's set as well. But if you're able to be in between these two bars, when it comes to your photography, then you're going to do pretty well. So look out for that. So like always, we're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming Saturday night chill stream on the platform Whatnot. Last night was phenomenal. We're going to do again another back-to-back nighter. And Saturday night, no exception. It's going to be quite a nice little stream. Again, very casual environment, a safe space for everyone to come on down, say hi, talk coins, talk about the hobby, in addition to taking advantage of some of the things that I have offered for this evening. All right, a preview video will be coming here this afternoon to highlight some of the selections for tonight's stream, so look out for that. But on Whatnot, we will be live at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, and then you guys in the Mountain and Central Time Zones, you guys know where you're at there. As always, everything starts at $1. We have a lot of exceptional type coins this evening. It has some pretty nice pieces. And, you might be able to add something really nice for an affordable cost, too. So come on down, check things out, and really enjoy the experience. And even if you don't bid on anything, nothing wrong with that. Just come by and say hi. And by the way, we still got the $15 sign-up promotion, so my referral link will be down below. In addition to the link to the actual live stream, you guys can bookmark it, so when it does kick off at 5 o'clock my time, then, you guys will get the notification that you can jump on board there. So that's it. Let's go ahead and jump into these listings and see what people have been selling. The first coin actually is one that I bought. I ended up buying this 1983 Lincoln Memorial Cent. It popped up as a what I felt like was a reasonable buy it now offer on this one. It came up in a moment's notice. So again, how quick you're able to hit that trigger to buy up some of these, will make a difference in how successful you are. I have no plans on flipping this particular coin. I collect cuds and die breaks, along with other various type coins. So I like things like this. So this 1983 Lincoln Memorial has a cud die break here at the base of Lincoln's bust. That is caused by simply a piece of the die that had fractured and fallen out during the minting process. When it strikes up the coins, all the metal flow goes into that empty cavity in the die, thereby creating this raised anomaly on the coin. Cuds, by definition, affect the edge, so it's going to go from the rim, go into the design of some part, and then connect back up to the rim. So there's an entry and exit spot to every single cut die break. This one right here, I ended up picking up for $18.95. You know, pretty fair. It is a copper coated zinc-in, so there is that. And you know, I traditionally see these being sold for about 20 to 30 bucks. So not a home run hitter here. I just got to add a really, really nice, desirable error type to my collection. The next one that we have here, again, the theme for this particular video, we're going to have a number of coins from the National Park series that ended up selling. All right, so kind of revisiting a series that went on for 10 years, and it had kind of its mix of ups and downs, I suppose. There were people that really liked the series, and there are a good deal of other folks that really didn't care too much about it. You know, anything following up that Statehood Quarter series just seems kind of inconsequential at this point, you know, because you know the Mint's going to put out a multi-year program of coins. The National Park, not exactly an afterthought, but it was one that not nearly as many people cared about. But there is the reason to care about these coins. There were quite a few errors that came out on these. The American Samoa Bat Quarter in 2020 was one of them. There's a number of various size strike-throughs that you could find on the reverse. This one right here, these are commonly referred to, by the way, by the nickname Blind Bat Quarters. So there is a little bit of a strike-through here on the left side of the mother's face if you turn the quarter upside down. So, you know, they do get a lot bigger. There's more of them on there. This is kind of like, you know, the smaller, I guess, more minor event on these. This one ended up still selling for a very healthy $35.24. So always look out for these. And, you know, even if you don't want to keep them into your collection, just know that you could do really well offloading these in the marketplace. And, of course, the American Women's Series of Quarters, this is where we're at right now. All right, we are in year 2 of the program. This is a very short program because we do have another, not bicentenary, I don't know what it's called, but we're celebrating another milestone in a couple years here, 2026 to be exact. So the American Women Quarters, I believe, runs like 4 or 5 years. And you know, it's been good. People have really liked this particular series. The Bessie Coleman right here is the first installment of 2023. Good coin to look out for. You know, kind of these I would say minor errors. In this particular case, there's a number of different progressed die chips that you could find on the airplane. On the reverse, like on this one, you could see that formed die chip above the wing there. Connects to the base of the M, which is neat. You know, people collect these by different sizes and progressions. You know, the progression will get larger, or the die chip rather will get larger as the dies continue to stay in service without any maintenance. So this one right here, $13.99. You're not going to get rich off these, but these are still out there, and oftentimes they're going to be in really good shape. So it'd be your opportunity to pick up a few or sell a number of them because they are quite common. Now here's just a really nice major variety. This is a 1999p Jefferson nickel. Very nice high grade. Off-center struck by about 10% in this case. These particular coins, you know, from about 1997, 98, all the way up to 2001, a lot of these were discovered in mint-sewn bags throughout the last few years that they did do that particular method of transport. This particular coin, as you can tell, is very minty fresh. You know, mid-state is going to be the grade on something like this. All these types of errors are generally collected by date. So people that collect into these will look for specific dates. They'll look for the best examples. And, you know, they'll feed however much the market dictates for such coins. This one right here ended up selling for $29.38. This particular seller of these coins had a number of them for sale, and they all sold in that $20 to $30 range. The next one that we have here is one of the neater errors that you could find on a Jefferson nickel from last year. 2022. You're going to make sure you're looking at the Philadelphia minted coins, and you're going to look out for these wild strike-through errors that you could find on the coins. Now, this particular example has two main features of this strike-through. One that's coming out of Jefferson's mouth. It looks like, it's cold outside and, blowing condensation, things like that. And there's a pretty nice sized, what we call scar strike-through right above his right eye, if you're looking at him. And these are commonly referred to as field-restricted strike-throughs, which means the feeder finger had made contact with a die and has pushed around some of the grease that was on there, thereby creating different shapes and sizes of this event. This one right here, pretty healthy price on this. Ended up selling for $40.03 with 11 bids. Oftentimes you'll come across these, and if you're looking at like BU rolls, you'll find others as well. They travel very well if you're able to find mid-state rolls of these out in the wild, which you can. Okay, we got a little bit of a older item here. This is a 1935 F Series silver certificate, and it just looks like a homegrown, beat-up silver certificate that's seen a lot of work during the early days of the 20th century. However, if you look closely, the serial number is mismatched. It's actually the last number in the serial number that is completely different on both lines there. One ends in a 3, the other one ends in a 4. But always look out for this. As you can tell, this one circulated for many years before someone had actually pulled it out. Maybe not necessarily out of circulation, but a lot of these ended up being passed down in bundles. They became essentially worthless by the 1980s. You'd be hard-pressed to get even $1 for them back in the day. But I'm glad to say that these things have made a little mini comeback. Not as wild and crazy as you would expect, because there are millions of these out there in the wild. But there is a good fair share of BEP errors to look for. Mismatched serial numbers, definitely one of them. So this one right here ended up selling for $566, and that's with 31 bids. So there you go. Proof is in the pudding. Do not spend these. Do not get rid of them. Do not sell them for $3 like everybody else does. Make sure you do yourself a favor and look for any sort of neat anomaly, namely something like this. There's a little bit of the back image there, again showing the work that this note did put in commerce. So we have another early one here, 1935 Buffalo Nickel, one of the more common dates. Of course, there is one big variety to be on the lookout for in this particular date, and it's on the Philadelphia. The doubled die reverse, showing some pretty wild doubling here on the words 5 and cents on the reverse. This is FS801 in the Cherry Picker's Guide. So there is that as well. A very major coin. If you're somehow lucky enough to find this in much higher condition, the prices go up exponentially. This one is sold for $43 with 4 bids. And this one is damaged. It couldn't be any more apparent here. It's got that ring of death on the obverse of the coin. But what really mattered, the ring of death or that lamination issue on the reverse? These things were notorious for annealing issues and lamination issues and all sorts of other goodies. As much as we love ourselves some silver wartime nickels, the quality can be a little sus, as my daughter would say. And you have coins like this with that lamination, in spite of the damage, did end up selling for what? $49.95. So there you go. I mean, that's just a wild amount of money. Again, who dictates what the market is for errors like this? And especially damaged coins. Sometimes damage, really doesn't affect the value too much if, the error makes sense to invest in. And this one right here is really neat. I mean, it looks like it could be fake or it could be acid damaged. But consider this. This is a copper-coated zinc coin. Yeah, if it was acid or anything like that, wouldn't it show in the core? Wouldn't that zinc show through? So this is just a really wild strike through. Okay, there's just a lot of grease and debris, a lot of dirt particles and metal shavings that are all kind of like clumped up on the obverse die prior to the strike of this coin. And you can see a little bit even on the reverse as well. So that, you know, this one was a particularly you know, hardened piece of grease, or just a covering of grease for that matter. And where did this one end up at? $106 was the final sale price on this one. So you either have to really love these, or, you know, you have to understand what it is and then sell them, you know, so that way you could get your just desserts. Because not everyone is into this type of error, you know. But there, believe me, there's a lot of error collectors that will pick this one up. And if you have a number of people kind of like going head to head in a auction setting, you should do okay on these. And the next one that we have are really cool. I mean, you know, any off-center struck coin is neat. When you combine that with a coin that has 2 off-center strikes, these are commonly referred to as saddle strikes, by the way. It takes it to a whole other level. So that second off-center struck obviously isn't too crazy. It's like 95% off-center, or even more than that. This one right here, coin's in pretty decent shape. Great wild example. No readable date, but I think that's okay here. This one is sold for $30 with 21 bids. And this is just a really good lesson for you guys to realize. This is a key date, Lincoln Wheat Cent. 1931S, sub 1 million mintage on this one. But it was also promoted on eBay as being a strike-through error, okay, which it is. Most of the word trust on the obverse is missing. That's because of a strike-through. There was some grease on that die prior to the strike of these coins. But, you know, you talk to any error expert, you know, these are traditionally considered minor errors. Find them all the time. And then when you mix that with a high-profile key date, you know, how does that affect price? This one ended up selling for $102.50 with 39 bits. Okay, so, you know, there was a little bit of premium on this particular coin with the strike through. All right, nothing too wild and crazy. You talk to a cent collector that wants a coin like this, and they probably prefer one without the strike through. But anyways, just to let you guys know, with key dates, it could kind of like fall either way. And not so minor of an error is this going to be massive cud die break on this Lincoln Memorial Cent. This is, by the way, a copper-coated zinc era of coin. No, this one wasn't quite in the budget for me compared to that 1983. But I would have certainly bought something like this. This one right here ended up selling for $55.25. And the same seller had a number of these. So, you know, at any one point you could have bought one for around $50. He or she had a few of these available. Here's our other feature, blind bat quarter, featuring a much larger strike through event on the bat's face there, as you can see on the right side. Again, this is a field restricted style, so the feeder finger definitely came in play on this one. Coin's in pretty nice shape, and this one sold for $70.25. For all of you looking for a bulk deal, this one could have been a good one. Kind of hard to say, although I really am not sure what the yellowing is on every single coin. It looks like tape residue in my honest opinion, but that's something you could easily remove with a little acetone, and it won't hurt these copper nickel clad coins. This is a lot of 6 1973 Roosevelt dimes. They're all off-center struck. Overall, coins are in pretty good shape. You know, aside from that yellow foreign substance that's on the front of the coins. The collected amount here ended up selling for $137.49 with 22 bids. This is a traditionally a little bit tougher date to find, but we have 6 of them right here, so that kind of changes things a little bit. I don't know. I mean, you're going to be looking at over $20 per coin in this instance. Is there enough room here to resell these? I don't know. It can be tough. Normally, I would look at these and say, yeah, I could probably sell these for about $25 to $30. So, I mean, you could try your hardest to do more than that, but I don't think the market is quite accepted to that kind of sales price. But wanted to let you guys know this one did sell 22 bids strong on it, so there was a lot of activity. And more currency. We have a few more currency pieces. We have this 1976 $2 bill. All right, look out for these. Misaligned overprint on this. So you can see the green district seal and the serial numbers are all a little bit out of place there. It's shifted a little bit down and to the right. This particular note sold for $34.25. Note's in pretty decent shape. I would say technical XF condition on this one. Now, this is a, excuse me, a much more compelling 4-coin lot than what we saw with the dimes. So we have 4 Lincoln cents, a 72D that's double struck with a uniface on the reverse. We have a coin, top right, that is struck through a later stage cap die. We have a 1970 Lincoln cent that looks like it was struck through a piece of wire. And then finally a 1921 Lincoln wheat that has some lamination issues on the obverse. So right out of the way, here, this 4-coin lot sold for $130.25. So there might be a little bit of opportunity to make a few bucks on this one. The double struck coin and the struck through wire are the two kind of headliners of this lot. The struck through cap die Lincoln, those are like 30 to 40 bucks. But most of your money will be in those two other coins. The Lincoln wheat cent is a low grade coin. You know, laminations are very common on Lincoln cents. You know, that's probably a $10, $15 piece. So, you know, you could probably make 30, 40 bucks collectively if you wanted to do something like this. Again, these are more supplemental pieces to a store or some pretty nice pieces for a collection, especially if you're looking for 4 different mint errors. The next one that we have here, of course, this is the worst of the worst. You know, as far as photo quality, we're a little bit out of focus here. This is indeed a 2023 Edith Kanaka-Ole American Women Quarter. All right, and in this particular case, where this is the one that had the struck through grease right on Washington's ear. That is actual live grease on the coin, and it's black in color. Do not wipe it away. Keep it on there. It's worth a lot more with it on there than opposed to you know, being cleaned off, or you know, some people dip this in acetone to remove that as well. So leave it on there. Worth more. It's more desirable with the black oxide grease on there. This one ended up selling for $100. Okay, a C note in this particular case was a pretty substantial amount of money to sell this coin. It was probably worth it for the seller. You know, me personally, I would have sold it for that too. Here's another big cut, 1976 Philly. As you can see, this one is right on the motto. And some would say that this is probably a godless coin. That's kind of like the funky nickname people give this when the cud die break is covering the word God. But again, cuds are king in this market. This particular example sold for $112, and that's with 3 bids. This is a lamination on its 1962D Lincoln Memorial. Good job showing restraint from peeling away the lamination pieces. Okay, they're still attached on there, but you can tell that they have a little bit of air in between the lamination and the actual coin. Don't peel these away or crack them off. Leave them on there. They're worth more that way. This one sold for $29. I mean, that's really solid. You know, it's not the best looking condition coin. You do have some pretty nice rim dings on the obverse. But overall, yeah, a great coin to find, and they're out there. Here's our other $2 bill. Again, you know, same as the previous. We have a misaligned overprint. Sorry about that. On this 1976, the serial numbers are overlapping some of the base design of the note. But really nice high-grade specimen here, folks. This one sold for $65. A little bit of the reverse image. Again, one of my favorite designs of modern currency today. And statehood quarter series errors are always going to be desirable. Okay, people collect these quite extensively. And this is a 1999 Connecticut. It's a Denver this time around, and it's off center by, about maybe 7-8%. Nothing too crazy, but pretty nice error. A little bit bigger than a standard quarter too. This one sold for $44.99. So yeah, pretty good market, and we could see that continuing to get stronger as we continue to separate ourselves wider from this series. That made a huge difference in the hobby. Great one here too. Wow, I love it when these are being found, and this one's in particularly decent shape too. 1939 Jefferson nickel. As you guys know, the big variety is the doubled Monticello on the reverse. Also referred to as the FS801 in the Cherry Picker's Guide, but check out that doubling on Monticello, and 5 cents. Kind of hard to miss. Easier to see with the aid of a magnifying glass. So if you do come across any 1939p nickel, look for this. They're not rare either. I found a few of them over the years. This one sold for $75. So glad to see a healthy market on these. And yeah, I guess this is our one last National Park quarter, and I forgot that this one even existed, but there is still a lot to find, top to bottom in this series. A lot of strike-throughs, to be sure. 2018 Pictured Rocks, it's the Michigan quarter. Look at all the little strike-throughs on the obverse there. Those are not hits or damage. That's the real deal. So more of the drops of hardened grease that was pushed around by a feeder finger, pretty much in display here on this one. There's also a major double to die for this one. There's the DDO number 1 on the Michigan Pictured Rocks that everybody loves to find. So this one you can see up close, great close-ups by the way of all those little anomalies. Kind of crazy. It looks like Washington got hit by a meteor shower. So this one sold for $15. It's not a wild amount of money because of the condition of the coin, but certainly one that is worthy to find, and do not spend these. Just keep them. Couple last pieces. This is our last currency piece for the day, and it's a crowd pleaser for sure. Star Note, $100 bill, 2013 is the date on this one. Check that out. Miscut. Wow, I mean, aren't Star Notes supposed to be replacement notes for damaged or misprinted or miscut notes? In theory, that's what it's supposed to be, but now you have one on a Star Note, and that makes these extra cool and extra collectible. Like this one ended up selling for $509.65. The larger denomination notes with this kind of error on the star, I cannot stress enough how crazy that is, and people do love that. And then finally we have the large curved clip candy $50 here on the 1988. I think that's a Denver coin. Check out the Blakesley effect, by the way, on the opposite end there, or that side to the clip, and you'll see that this is a stone cold legitimate example. It looks like it came out of circulation. However, it's seen quite a bit of activity, out there in commerce. This one sold for $25.25, worth way more than silver, guys. So if you come across this, don't throw it back, and don't assume it's damage, because it's not. Yeah, keep these. I've heard of people throwing these things back, and that was probably like 8 years ago, because silver was all the rage after the recession, and they just didn't care about these. And now the tune has changed quite a bit to where these have a lot more need in the marketplace. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for the Pocket Change Market Report for April 15th. That was a lot of fun. Stay tuned for the Whatnot coin auction coming up in about an hour and 15 minutes. So you're going to see this is a late upload, by the way, of the Pocket Change Market Report, but I'm going to, do a quick little preview video here in a moment on some of the coins that you can expect to see on tonight's stream. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Go ahead and check it out. I'm going to dip out of here so I could, save this video, upload it, do the other one, and get ready for the stream. I have a lot of work to do in the next hour and 15 minutes. Well, let's going to go ahead and do it. I hope to see you guys there. Again, the links will be down below, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Keep on collecting, keep on hunting, and enjoy this hobby that we all love. All right, Sean with the Hound, out.